scheduling your training. And I mentioned earlier that for public access defibrillation requirements that you need to offer out CPR training. It's important when you offer out the CPR training that it's offered out on a voluntary basis. This allows the rescuers to be covered through the Good Samaritan law. You need to use an authorized provider, and they're all listed on the public health website. And typically the providers can come right to your location. If your local EMTs are certified instructors, which many of them are, they often can serve in that role and provide that training for you. We as well provide the training. We're an authorized training center through the American Heart Association. The basic training is a 4-hour CPR AED course, and the standard recommendation is that you have 10 responders per AED. And obviously, if you only have 3 people in your offices, then you're not going to be able to comply with 10 people per AED. But you want to offer the training out on a voluntary basis. It can't be required of your employees or your community members. By offering it out on a voluntary basis, it covers everybody through the Good Samaritan law, which there's lots of information about that if you're not familiar with it, but it in essence covers the lay rescuer. If they are trying to save somebody's life with good intentions, they can't be held liable. So again, hopefully that relays some of the fears there. Typically, it's a 2-year certification, so 2 years is a really long time, especially if it's not something that you're doing regularly. So there are refresher videos available. It's important to review the information periodically, and it's also recommended that you do drills. Just as you would do a fire drill, it's recommended that you should do an AED drill. So that's pretty much it on the training. There's a little chart there that shows you, again, the increased percentage of survival when CPR and the AED is used on a victim. That's the large, long blue line over to the right. You want to start CPR before you get your AED. And you can see from this chart here that there's a 30% increased survival rate when CPR use is given as well as an AED. When that is combined, you're seeing a much greater increase in the survival rate. The more you can offer out the training, the more trained responders you're going to have. There's no requirement that says you have to have somebody trained on staff at all times, but the more people you're training, the more likelihood is that somebody that is trained is going to be available when a rescue situation occurs.